What is going on, everybody, and welcome back yet again to another Gran Turismo 7 setup video for the channel. Today guys, we've got the Alpine A110 and this thing is quite decent, I have to say, as an all-round car. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So in order to make this car pretty quick and easy to drive, I've decided to make a maxed out setup. I've got a few setups for this particular car. So I've got the maxed out unrestricted setup, got a 550 pp setup, 600 pp setup, and 650 pp setup. These setups here is where the car really thrives. Maxed out unrestricted setup is actually pretty good as well, although it does suffer from a little bit of twitchiness due to the high RPM turbocharger. If you don't equip the high RPM turbocharger or any turbocharger, the car actually handles really nicely. Also, one thing to note as well with this particular car, you have to really push it, redline it everywhere you go to get the most out of it. With that said, it does like to step its tail out a little bit as it's an MR car. It's just the characteristics of it, even with the setup. So you have to be quite careful with the throttle response when you're coming out of a bend or mid-bend, but as long as you can manage that, you'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and look at the maxed out setup. So for this one, tires are racing soft tires. Suspension is fully customizable with body height adjustment at 95 and 100 at the back. Anti-roll bar is set to 8 all around. Damper ratio compression is 34-36. Damper ratio expansion is 45 all around. Natural frequency is 2.65 and 2.90 at the back. Negative camber angle is 1 at the front and 1.5 at the rear. Tower angle is out 0.05 at the front and in 0.25 at the rear. Moving over to the LSD, the differential, you want to have a fully customizable diff, and initial torque is at 5, acceleration sensitivity is at 10, and braking sensitivity is at 20. Moving over to your aerodynamics, you want to run 150 at the front and 265 at the rear. ECU is at 100%. Power restricted is at 100%. Transmission ratio is at 310 for me. This is the fully customizable racing transmission, and that's preset to 310 kilometers an hour. You can choose to run that at 300 for lower tracks, but I chose it to have 310 there. I feel like that's quite nicely balanced out for me. So turbocharger's high RPM turbocharger, even though the medium and low RPM give you a little bit more torque overall and a little bit more PP, I find that it just really upsets the car's behavior and balance overall. Ideally, you want to run no turbocharger. That just really works really best with the car. So that's what I chose for the PP setups. Anti-lag system set to strong, racing intercooler, racing air cleaner, semi-racing exhaust or silencer. This again is personal preference, you can do whatever you want here. Exhaust manifold is racing. Brake system pads are both racing with racing clutch and flywheel, and you want to have your brake controller at -1 just to ease the back end a little bit when it's braking. So that's it for the maxed out setup. Let's go ahead and look at the PP limited setup. So the 550 PP limited setup, you're going to have to equip your racing hard tires, sports hard tires on this one. Suspension, LSD, aerodynamics stays the same. Your EC output is at 81%, power restricted at 70%. Your top speed now is going to be reduced to 220 kilometers an hour. For this one, I find that low RPM turbocharger just gave it a little bit of an edge when accelerating, so I chose that over no turbocharger. Anti-lag is off, normal intercooler, normal air cleaner, normal silencer and exhaust manifold. You want to keep your racing brakes and pads. Brake controller is set to -1, and you want to have your racing clutch and flywheel. Moving on to the 600 pp setup, so once again, sports hard tyres, suspension differential aerodynamics stays the same. Your EC output now is at 100% and your power restricted at 74%. Top speed set to 240 kilometers an hour. You want to have normal turbocharger with anti-lag system set to strong, racing intercooler, racing air cleaner, semi-racing exhaust, and normal exhaust manifold with racing brake pads and discs, racing clutch and flywheel, and -1 on the brake balance. Now the 650 pp setup is what I find this car to be particularly strong at, in my opinion. You'll have sports soft tyres equipped on this one. Suspension LSD aerodynamics stays the same. 100% on the ECU output, 86% on the power restrictor, 260 presets top speed at the odd kilometers for your transmission ratio there. Normal turbocharger, strong anti-lag, racing intercooler, normal air cleaner, uh, semi-racing exhaust, and normal exhaust manifold, racing brake pads and discs, and racing clutch and flow and brake balance set to -1. So that's it for the setup, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully guys you will find these setups quite helpful for your Alpine. Now let's go ahead and check out what this thing can do around Catalina. So hope you guys enjoy this, leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe.